Welcome to the video. Just a quick overview. Still super bullish on Tesla. I'm not super confident this earnings is going to be great. There could be some really exciting news that comes out though, or they could just not do as badly as expected, which should send the stock soaring as it usually does. So if you're interested in shorting Tesla on the possibility that earnings are bad, I probably would avoid that because that historically has not worked out in the investor's favor. However, in this video, we'll talk about the daily and weekly price action. When I'm trimming, we'll look at the short and long dated options interest. There are some exciting things to look at on that. And we're going to skip Tesla news today, though, because it's super late and I just want to get this out as quickly as possible. Hopping straight over to the chart on this one, I just want to point out that a breakout in this price action could be devastating if you are short into earnings, and the reaction is opposite of what you're expecting. We are pushing up on this red trend line for the fourth time, and a breakout here should be quite a strong one. A lot of momentum and algos will be in on that trade if it happens. So please be cautious around that, especially using leverage. It could work out in your favor, but it's a bit like flipping a coin with Tesla. Even if earnings are good, the price might come down, and if earnings are bad, the price might move up. So it's a pure gamble play, in my opinion. And if you're going to pretend that it's a skill-based trade, I would probably wind back on your expectations. But other than that, though, price looks good here. Price is undecided for 2 days where it wants to go. Funny enough, it's probably waiting for earnings. On X, Elon seems very confident with things. That would give me pause for thought with shorting this as well. I haven't added to my position on this one. I still have a good weighting, and I think we could stay kind of chopping around under this orange Fibonacci level for a while. But really, news could come out at any moment, something crazy happening with Tesla. It's just one I'm not willing to trade at this point in time. I'm really focused on crypto still. I'd love to rotate some crypto profits into Tesla at a later date. So I'm hoping the price doesn't pop, which is going to confuse some people because I really want this stock to do well in several years' time. But for right now, I would prefer it to stay low. But, happy up, happy down. That's how I roll. To the downside, though, this bull market support band is still flat but thickening. I would like to see that turn up as a support. And for the most part, we're chopping with these volume shelves. I think if we break below 312, we probably will see kind of 280 again. It's going to be really hard to guess that. But RSI is kind of neutral. MACD plus, it's increasing, but also flows kind of flat. So charts holding its breath for earnings as well by the looks of it. Quick look at the weekly though. I can drag it on over here. These two massive volume shelves as well. So the low of kind of 260, not expecting that to be broken anytime soon. Something catastrophic would have to happen. But we are also building up this red support line, which should hold over that. So really we're chopping around in this range, in my opinion and my preference. But a breakout could easily happen and then we turn that into support and still chop sideways. So what I'm hoping for is just a chop. But I don't know if that's going to happen with Tesla. It's really unpredictable and it all depends when Elon's flapping his chops. However, RSI flat as well, MACD plus not really much exciting, and flow flat as well. So weekly is also looking like it's trying to decide where to go. Let's move on and look at the options though, because there's some exciting stuff there to talk about. Hopefully I haven't waffled too much so far. I'm trying to get this out as quick as possible before my wife gets to bed. But looking at the options chart here, we can see where we are. We're bang in the middle of the range that market makers want to keep it, which is good for them. But the expected move is quite large in either direction, probably about the same range as market makers are seeking. So again, sitting. So a pop on this could be violent to either side. However, if we scroll down here, so this is the earnings week strike date. Look at the volume sitting at $100. Now this was boggling me. I thought, who's picking these strikes? And I've looked into it, and they were dirt cheap. So my expectation is that this was just some hedging for institutions with big Tesla positions. And looking at the institutional ownership of Tesla, that really hasn't fluctuated much, even with all the brand damage. So that's been holding strong. So this Obviously, no one's thinking Tesla's going to get to $100, but they are dirt cheap to take off the risk, and you can probably make a decent bit on there as a quick trade. Pushing it out a week after earnings, we can see, that 100 is gone, so they really are just hedging for earnings by the looks of it. We do creep up to some kind of 190 bets there. I would say Tesla is not getting there unless Elon resigned or something crazy like that. But to the upside, looking a little bit more bullish there, trying to push price over the 350, which I like. But really, in the short term, Tesla is going to chop. It's going to be pretty volatile. Everyone's waiting on the news of bots, energy, all this stuff. But further out, interesting, with stuff like this, you need to look way further out because it's going to take 2026, 2027 before a lot of this even hits the bottom line. So you want to push these out as far as possible. January 2026. Did I click on it? Still got a lot of people bearish on this one, but if we start scrolling up, we've got some serious volume higher up. It's a very Marmite stock here, but pushing it out another year, given that Elon's timelines always stretch a little bit longer. It seems like people are much less confident about a bearish price action trend in Tesla for, much further out. So in the short term, volatility, chop, we can capitalize on that. We can trim and add into that where the chart looks good. And long term, big boys still really like this one, and the institutional holdings still really good. That's a wrap. If you enjoyed this content, feel free to share it with your mum, your nan, your dad, your dog, whoever. And I'll see you next time.